Ayo, what up? Today we're going to go over the three things I feel like I learned from day one of Warzone that I hope that you can take away and win more games. So, up first, I have to say, unfortunately, sniper rifles are dead. Yeah, I know, it's unfortunate to hear this, but I do believe that unless a player is sitting at the two plates or lower, snipers will no longer one shot headshot. And I've seen multiple people post this, and I'm beginning to think that it's just true. Even there's multiple clips now where I've survived with 1 HP, which means that sniper rifles now max at about 249 damage. So if you are running a three plate carrier, you can no longer be one shot headshot, which is good, I guess, if you prefer to not be deleted instantly on Warzone. And it's especially good for solos in a game mode where, surprise death is not a lot of fun. But also, for those of us like myself who are snipers, it's a bit disappointing to hear. I'm wondering if they're going to end up changing it, but right now, snipers are dead. Start building something else in your loadout. Number two, and I think this is a big one to note because a lot of people aren't using them. LMGs feel like god tier weapons right now. The raw specifically is beautiful. It is a very chunky, very hard hitting AR style LMG where you can build it for decent movement, similar to like some of the heavier ARs from Warzone 1. A little bit slower, but in this game where everything's a bit slower, you really don't feel the penalty nearly as much. But you do feel the massive magazine, massive damage, and extremely clean irons if you want to use them. So it's a win-win, especially with a raw and the RPK and the Icarus. Three different LMGs that I have used, and all of them feel exceedingly nice. So if you haven't started looking at the LMGs for Warzone as your primary, start considering it. Again, the raw, the RPK, and the Icarus all feel wonderful. Now, with that being said, the Icarus feels much better up close than you're going to be getting the RPK or the raw, but the Icarus isn't going to feel as good over range as you're going to get with the RPK or the raw. So if you're looking for something to fill a gap a little bit closer, go for the Icarus. If you're wanting that long range damage, the RPK and the raw are your go-to. And then number three, and I think that this is going to be very important, especially as the game progresses, the loadouts are extremely difficult to get. Now, with that being said, yes, you might get lucky frequently on getting loadouts. The strongholds are pretty plenty when you start getting into quads and trios, and the loadout drops, they do drop quite a few of them. And you can buy guns from the buy stations, but currently the buy stations seem to be a little glitched where your weapons aren't specifically the one in there, just some custom weapons are. And for some people, you're able to buy them. For some people, you're not. So right now, relying on the buy stations to get your actual builds seems a little hit or miss. The strongholds will occasionally just spawn completely across the map, and you'll have almost no chance of getting to them without, of course, giving away all your positions to get there. And then the loadouts are first come, first serve. So that means if another team beats you to it, there's a good chance you may never get it because there's no longer going to be spawning loadouts for everybody in the match. It's limited number. So now loadouts are exceedingly more rare, which brings me into tip three, which is learn to use everything you can. As a person who goes through and levels every gun when a major title comes out, I already make myself pretty familiar with the loadouts. But if you're not already that way, I recommend doing so and doing so quickly. Learning your weapons for Warzone is going to be more important than ever with a de-emphasization of the loadout and a more emphasization of what you're going to be grabbing off the ground. With that being said, best guns I have found currently on the ground are the TAC 5.6. You can find quite a few of them. They are exceptional. You can also find a few raw on the ground, which are also still exceptional. And then, honestly, the best SMG right now for me, feeling for Warzone, is probably going to be either the new BAP or the Finnick. Both of them feel like they still do good range damage and good close quarters damage, but you will find very quickly the SMGs drop off very quickly on range. So they are really just bunker door building busters, and then you really want to have an AR after that. So we're looking at an AR LMG slash SMG meta right now for the future. And I'm going to really, again, recommend start learning a little bit of everything. If you can, play a few games while just running ground loot and don't even bother with grabbing loadouts, because the sooner you get used to ground loot and sooner you get better with that, the sooner you'll be winning more and more matches. Thank you all so much for checking out these videos. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, it would mean the world to me if you did, because I make videos like this all the time, especially now with Warzone 2 out in full effect. We stream daily, we have shorts daily, and I would love for you to see some more of my content so that way we can continue to grow as a community together, and I can give you some entertainment. Thank you all so much for checking out the video. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, peace.